Welcome, ladies.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Lynn. I am setting up. I am the Hope Chest coordinator for Columbia County. I was here a year ago, and thinking about that is making me cry already. Is something wrong? I will just tell you what's up there and use really good alliteration. Is that the word? I don't even know. But anyway, I've already started crying this morning, so you have to bear with me because it's been a year. And that makes me cry, and I cry a lot. So is it okay if I cry this morning? Okay, and please cry with me. But you can't see, but what I'm going to say this morning is called Only Luke is With Me. So that would be up there with our Dwell logo. So pretend that's what you see. But it was about a year ago, like I said, when I stood here before all of you. I read you my journal entries. I cried a lot, just like I'll do today. I've already done today. I compared my calling as a foster parent to Jeremiah's calling in the Bible. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, and me, the weeping foster mom. I stood here and I shared my loneliness, my fears, and my discomfort with you all. And today I stand here again, still scared, still uncomfortable, but a lot less lonely. It has been a big year for Dwell and an even bigger year for my family, and you have been there. When I think about First English Baptist Church, I think about Paul and his ministry. And not just Paul, but all of the people who supported Paul along the way. 2 Timothy is a letter that is written by Paul to Timothy from prison. This is Paul's final imprisonment, and he knows that he's going to be martyred soon. He's going to die soon. 2 Timothy is a letter of encouragement, warning, thanksgiving, and hope. And in this letter, you can find my absolute favorite verse, my life verse, which is 2 Timothy 4:5. But as for you, use self-restraint in all things. Endure hardship. Do the work of an evangelist. Fulfill your ministry. So imagine this with me. I'm 14. I'm a young teenager. I just met Jesus, and I'm reading my Bible, getting to know my Bible for the first time, and this becomes my favorite verse. I thought I was going to have it tattooed on my body somewhere. I prayed it every night. Oh, Lord, help me to have self-control in everything. Help me to endure hardships. Help me to do the work of an evangelist. Help me fulfill my ministry. I was praying that so hard. I want to fulfill my ministry. I'm ready to fulfill my ministry. I didn't know what my ministry was, but I was ready to fulfill it. But 20 years later, knee deep in the ministry, I kind of wish I hadn't prayed that so hard because fulfilling your ministry is uncomfortable. It's scary and it's really lonely. Paul's ministry was all of the above and then some. I'm lost. The Roman emperor at the time, Nero, was going mad and persecuting Christians left and right. Now, Paul wrote this letter to Timothy from a dark and dingy prison cell. He knew that he would be dying soon for his ministry and his loyalty to Jesus. And I like to think that if I had written this letter, I'd be just as humble and encouraging as Paul. But let's be real. I complain a lot. And I've complained, like I said last year, I've complained for the last 7 years about foster care, about my ministry. So my whole letter would be complaining and crying and lamenting if this were me. So when we get to the last section of this letter, 2 Timothy, instead of saying, hey guys, I'm going to die soon, Timothy, let everybody know they need to feel sorry for me because I'm about to die. He's encouraging Timothy, acknowledging all of the people who have been there along the way, and offering final instructions. And I want to focus heavily on the fact that Paul acknowledges the people who have been there. He says, make every effort to come see me soon. For Demas, having loved this present world, has deserted me. Crescens has gone to Galatia, Titus to Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Take along Mark and bring him with you. He's useful for me in service. I have sent Tychius to Ephesus. And when you come, bring the overcoat that I left at Trous with Carpus. and the books, especially the parchments. And then later he says, greet Priscilla and Aquila and the household of Onesiphorus. Pretend I'm saying that correctly because I'm sure I'm not. Erastus remained at Corinth, but I left Trophimus sick at Miletus. Make every effort to come before winter. Eubulus greets you. Also Pudens, Linus, Claudia, and all the brothers and sisters. The Lord be with your spirit. Grace be with you. He lists them all. Luke, who is with him, Mark, Tychius, like all of them. He lists them all by name. And I love that. Those people were so important to Paul and so important to his ministry that in one of the final letters that he writes, he is naming them. He wants them to know. He wants them to come. All of them served with Paul in varying degrees. Some were dedicated friends from the beginning of his ministry, and some were people who encouraged him along the way. And I promise that this is relevant to FEBC because when I think about the last year of my ministry of foster care and Dwell's ministry to foster adoptive and kinship families, I have to acknowledge First English Baptist Church. You have been so, I'm gonna cry. You have been so important to our ministry. Sorry. This would be where there's pictures, so just pretend that some of you are in pictures. We opened and started the Hope Chest. We have served several families. We went through the blankets that you made for us last year so quickly. They're gone. We got 2 more today. Some of you have even volunteered in our Hope Chest to get it up and running. I've run into Russ on tough days, and he has offered prayer and encouragement. Actually, he has annoyed me with how encouraging he is. Like, leave me alone. But I needed it. I needed it so bad. I love him. You've offered your space to us, your kitchen, actually, and we hope to use it this year for our, we started a foster parent support group, and we're going to do freezer meals. And hope to use your space to do so. After singing at Showstoppers, my first time doing something for myself in 7 years, I've got your worship pastor coming and saying hi and offering encouragement. I was so nervous. He didn't know, but I needed the encouragement. I can remember picking up groceries after a long day of court and foster care visits, and Phil's big smile passing out candy to every kid in my van. And you don't know this, but I was really, really stressed out at the Renaissance Jamboree. Really stressed out. My little ones were, our court, we have a big court hearing coming up, and the hearing was continued the day before. My little ones were going to long visits that I didn't think they were ready for. Just a lot going on foster care wise, and that was kind of like we went to the Renaissance Jamboree to forget the foster care stuff. And sometimes you just need some chips. And guess who was there to give me chips? Oh, right, it was y'all. So thank you so much for the chips and the water. And even when I'm just driving by on my way, I live down the street, and I get to see whatever sign is outside. This Barbie one's my favorite. Please don't ever change it. It's my favorite. But it just makes me smile. And you have no idea. This is a tough ministry, and just having something to smile at on my way is just amazing. You guys have been absolutely amazing. And when we go around to different churches, we always say to the people that we speak to, everyone can do something. What's your something? And I really hope that other people can look to you all as an example of what something that they can do. And now when people ask me about being a foster parent, and about our first year of Dwell in Columbia County, I'm so happy to say that First English Baptist is with me. Thank you guys so much for being a Luke. Now Emily's gonna talk.
Good morning, everybody. You're going to have to bear with me. I woke up with really bad allergies this morning, so my voice is kind of ugh, but sorry about that. So my name's Emily. I do church engagement and a lot of other things, but I am housed at our homing office. But I do a lot of the church work with both of our locations. And I'm really excited to be here this morning to meet you all. I've heard so much, and I have met with Pastor Lee a couple times, but I'm just excited to be here and to meet all of the people behind the name, because like Lynn said, we can't do this without all of you. So what I want to do this morning is just give you a little bit of an update on everything that has been happening in 2023 and how you've been such a huge part of the work that we've been doing. So I'm going to start out with a quick story about a young man we served this summer that was particularly touching and really illustrates why your partnership matters. So this young man's name was Tyler, and he was placed in care along with his sister Ava the day before his 10th birthday this summer. Tyler and Ava arrived to their foster home with nothing but the clothing on their backs. Tyler would be spending his 10th birthday in a strange home with no personal belongings and very little time for the foster family to prepare for his birthday, about 24 hours. We found out about this, and we said, that's not okay. No child should be having to spend their birthday like that at all, nonetheless, without anything. So because of support from the community and local churches like yourself, we were able to provide Tyler with a birthday party. So along with our care package and our hope bags that we're arriving into this home with for these two little kiddos, we were also able to bring a birthday cake and some birthday presents. And I opened the door and Tyler's face just lit up, and he looks at me and he's like, "Is this all for me?" And I was able to tell him yes, because of your support, because of all of the donations and time and prayer. This is proof that your partnership matters. In that moment, Tyler had nothing to worry about but enjoying his birthday, and he knew that he was loved. And that's going to follow him for the rest of his life. So Tyler was one of the 130 children we've served since the beginning of 2023. Most, if not all of these children are arriving in an emergency type placement, meaning that they are coming with nothing but the clothing on their backs. Families oftentimes have very little time to prepare for this. And because the children are arriving with nothing, it's a really hectic time for everybody, right? So if children are arriving with anything, most of the time those items are housed in a black trash bag because foster care is really, really abrupt, right? So the social worker shows up to the home, it's grab what you can, throw it in a bag, we're gonna go. But if we take a moment to think about that, what do we put in trash bags? Trash, right? So if we are taking this child out of everything that they know, everything, while dysfunctional, is functional to them, that's what they know. And now we're putting everything that they own in a trash bag. We're sending a message to that child that not only are their items trash, but they are also trash. And that's not okay. And so one of the main ministries that we have at Dwell, and that I'm sure you all are familiar with, is our Hope Chest Foster Closet. And that is stocked mainly by donations from churches and community members like yourself. And so because of all of the wonderful things that you do, we're able to put together hope bags for children, which is about 2 weeks of new clothing, a hygiene bag, a blanket, new shoes, a swimsuit, all of the things that they're going to need to set them up for success in their new home. And this sends a message to them that they're not alone, that they're seen, heard, and that they're treasured, not trash. We're also going to put together a care package for the whole family. So we're going to take a laundry basket. We're going to put some laundry detergent in there because more kids means more laundry, right? We're also going to put in a bunch of toys and sensory items and activities and things that whole family can do together. So since the beginning of 2023, we've delivered 56 hope bags and 41 care packages, which has served a total of 130 children across both of our locations. So this breaks down to 308 shirts, 283 pairs of pants, 102 pairs of pajamas, 46 pairs of shoes, 31 packs of underwear, 56 packs of socks. You got the picture. We've also provided, thank you, it's beautiful. We've provided trauma training for 105 families, which totals 708 hours of training through our trust-based relational intervention model. And we've also awarded $7,400 in adoption grant assistance. None of this is possible without the support of community and from our churches. It takes a village, and we can't take on this mountain alone. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17 says, "Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, and plead the widow's cause." God calls us all into this space to love his children and to be his hands and feet. First English Baptist has been a huge supporter of Dwell, and we couldn't be more thankful that you're walking alongside of us in this work, because it doesn't happen without you. While everybody may not be called to foster or adopt, because not everybody should be, everyone has their something that they can do for the cause. Maybe this looks like joining our weekly prayer list and joining us in prayer. We send out prayer points once a week to guide you in praying for this ministry. Maybe that's signing up for a monthly newsletter to stay connected in all of the things that we're doing. Maybe it's participating in our collections twice a year for Foster Care Awareness Month and Adoption Awareness Month. Adoption Awareness Month's coming up in November, so maybe that's something that your church is interested in doing. Or maybe it's volunteering. We actually have a volunteer day this afternoon. Our Bloomsburg location is housed in the basement of Wesley UMC. We'd love to see some of you there this afternoon, 1:30 to 3:30. But that's a really, really great way to see exactly what we do and really get your hands involved and see this in action, see what the things that you are doing are actually doing for the community. So I want to challenge you this morning. What is your something? How will you act as the hands and feet of Jesus and follow the call to care for the most vulnerable in our community? We have a table set up in the back. We would love for you to come and talk to us, have these conversations, take some information with you. It's what we're here for. We really want to engage with you. So thank you for giving us this space to talk about this morning. Just having these conversations is so important. And so continuing to do this and continuing to have this be part of your message is invaluable. Thank you so much. So as I wrap up this morning, I would like to pray for us. If you bow your heads with me. God, I thank you so much for each and every person here this morning. I thank you for First English Baptist Church and for their heart for caring for your children. I pray this morning that we are not only hearers, but doers of this important work. Show us the way as we leave this morning, that we may be your hands and feet in your kingdom. Amen.